following program is brought to you in living color.
You are listening to the Liberal Grouch.
People, all going somewhere, all with their own thoughts, their own ideas, all with their own personalities.
Ever since I was a child, all I've ever wanted to be was a journalist, to write stories, to be on the radio, to be an observer of the human condition. Throughout my professional life, in radio, newspapers, and as a writer with the federal government, I've been true to the journalistic ethic of telling the truth, of being accurate, of trying to tell both sides of the story. But I've learned there are people who don't want their story told. In fact, they will do anything to keep you from telling their story. Individually, they are weak, small people who hide in the dark. But when they form a pack, they become dangerous. Not just to the individual trying to tell their story, but to the very concept of a free press. They want their side of the story told, not the full story. And when a strong, honest, progressive voice comes along, one who captures the ears of honest people, it frightens them. It makes them crazy.
Hold the string. Dance to that which one is created for.
They will do whatever they have to do by whatever means necessary to silence that voice, either through legal means or other means. The only thing necessary for evil to succeed is if good people do nothing. I choose to do something. I will stand in the face of this wolf pack of right-wing lunatics until I am either silenced by legal means or until they kill me. They will need to find either some way to throw me in jail for telling the truth, or else there will be blood on the microphone.
I've got that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. This is the Liberal Grouch, Bill Schmalfeld, on Friday, the 1st of May, 2015. And just when you thought it couldn't get any funnier. Oh. Guess who's in the court right now? Up in Westminster, at District Court for Carroll County. Guess who has not humiliated himself quite enough yet? Why, that would be WJJ Hoge III, who at this moment is asking the District Court for Carroll County, which has never given him a peace order, to give him a peace order. It says here, hearing time, 2:15. So that's about an hour ago. I don't know if he has to sit and wait for it or what, but they haven't posted the results of the hearing yet. Oh, Jesus. I think I can understand, though. There's a certain amount of butthurt that a man can take without reacting to it, without it affecting him in some visceral way. And I think we may have reached that point with Hoge. The butthurt. It is exquisite. It was a tearful WJJ Hoge III who took to the podium in front of Hoggy Town Hall to make the following announcement this morning. Judge Stansfield has denied my motion to modify and extend the second peace order against Bill Schmalfeld and has ruled that it was ineffective after 27 February. Let me see if I've got the actual order here. I know here it is. This is the second time he struck out against the same circuit court judge who granted him his first peace order and extended it. Order. Upon review of the petitioner, William John Joseph Hoge's motion to modify and extend the peace order, the court notes that the final peace order entered in this matter ordered that the peace order would remain in effect until August 27, 2015. The duration of this peace order was in error. Under Maryland Code, Courts and Judicial Proceedings, Section 3-1505F, a final peace order may not be effective for a period of longer than 6 months. Therefore, the court was without power to extend the peace order past February 27, 2015. Petitioner's motion to extend was not filed until April 16, 2015. Under Maryland Code, Courts and Judicial Proceedings, Section 3-1506A, a peace order may only be modified during the term of the peace order. As the peace order, in this matter, should have expired on February 27, 2015, the court is without power to entertain petitioner's motion to extend. Accordingly, it is this 23rd day of April, it's a week ago, I don't know why I'm just getting this today, the 23rd day of April, 2015, by the Circuit Court for Carroll County hereby ordered that the petitioner's motion to modify and extend the peace order is denied. Denied! Oh, the exquisite Butthurt. And it's all coming on the same day as my federal case against Patrick G. Grady of Palatine, Illinois, was docketed in the U.S. District Court for the District of Maryland. This butthurt is being felt across the nation. Now, this is just the latest, and we'll have to see how today's hearing turns out, but this is the latest in a string of recent embarrassments for the Hoge contingent. They're having been shamed in front of Carroll County District Judge Joanne Ellinghouse Jones by my being found not guilty in a charge of violating the peace order by offering assistance to Hoge's wife on February 13th. Other recent defeats for Hoge include the finding by Carroll County Circuit Court Judge Stansfield, who we just heard from, that there was no contempt of court back when Hoge was complaining about WordPress pingbacks and being sent an email by Reverb Nation when someone entered his name into a widget on my no longer online website provided by Reverb Nation. His inability to get any traction on an obviously forged letter that was submitted into evidence in the failed show cause contempt of court hearing, and the humiliation of having been exposed as a fraud for posting on his blog a segment of a prank dial phone call and claiming it was me calling him the day before Thanksgiving. Now, before going to court today, Hoge attempted to save face, but as usual, it involved lying by omission. Bill Schmalfeld is still on notice to not contact or harass me, and that notice was restated and reinforced by Judge Ellinghouse Jones at the conclusion of the trial on 16 April. I consider any further contact or harassment after the restatement of the notice by the judge to be acts prohibited by several statutes, including Maryland Criminal Law 3-803. You say, Hoge consistently neglects to mention that he was told to leave me alone before I was told to leave him alone. To quote Judge Ellinghouse-Jones, you, meaning Hoge, leave him alone, meaning me, and you, meaning me, leave him, meaning Hoge, alone. Forget each other exists. Hoge still faces a lawsuit against me in the Howard County Circuit Court. That case is awaiting a decision by the judge on Hoge's motion to dismiss, which was filed over a month ago. All right, let me refresh this and see if they made a determination yet. No, still nothing. So we'll hopefully by the time I'm done broadcasting today, when I'm recording this show, we'll have an answer as to whether or not I have to go back to Westminster to face the Butthurt one.
You are listening to the Liberal Grouch.
It can't be. How could they do this to me? Standing here while you go free. Well, let me tell you, my butt hurts so bad. It throbs and makes me sad. I have but hurt so bad to see you go free. This just cannot be. You all saw. I've been making my own law. My poor butt, all bleeding and raw. Well, let me tell you, my butt hurts so bad. It throbs and makes me sad. I have but hurt so bad. This damn rule of law. I can't be wrong, 'cause I am always right as rain. I'd do anything to stop this pain. He beat me before, he beat me again. This is not what I have foreseen. Don't you know, don't you know? Oh my. Nobody's paying attention. Don't you know, don't you know? Hurts so bad, it throbs and makes me sad. I got but hurt so bad to see you go free. Oh, ow! Oh, it's bleeding again. Come back so I can charge you with something. It hurts so bad to see you go free. Oh, 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 ow, ow! 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 Oh, I don't think I'll ever be the same after this. I wonder sometimes why I even try.
We all wonder why you continue, John. At what point do you reach a level of embarrassment where your head just implodes? I mean, just caves in on itself. I think I know what you need.
What's wrong, Madge? You look irregular, out of sorts.
I should say I am, Lucinda. I haven't taken a good dump in
Have you tried Phil's colon blow?
Who the hell are you?
I'm the Phillips colon blow lady.
Well, that answers that.
And take a look at this diagram.
I love diagrams.
Isn't this a radio commercial?
See how a sink gets all plugged up with clogs of hair and grease?
Yucky.
I'll say the same thing happens to your colon. But instead of hair and grease, your colon is clogged up by cheese, hamburger, and french fries.
Oh, dear. How do I get clean again?
Simple. Drink 8 ounces of Phil's colon blow. It works just like those liquid drain cleaners, but without harming your delicate pipes. And the horrible taste will kill your appetite for days, giving your sensitive colon time to relax and heal.
Give me that bottle.
Wait, there's 2 things you gotta do first. First, you gotta pay for it, and then...
Oh, you were right about the taste. It's horrid. Oh, no.
Jesus, Madge.
You need to be sitting on the toilet when you take it. That's how fast it works. New Phil's Colon Blow. Available at supermarkets and drugstores near you.
Clean up on aisle 3, 4, and 5, 6.
You are listening to the Liberal Grouch.
All right, let's check again to see whether or not this thing has been dealt with. Okay, filing date today. Nope, no ruling on it yet. Let me try clearing out the cache, here, just to make sure I'm not just looking at a old picture here. Because, these computers are just terribly confusing. And nope. Still District Court for Carroll County, case number, blah, 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 type, peace order, filing date today, defendant name me, hearing date today, 2:15 p.m., hearing type temporary, and if it goes like last time, it'll say denied, no statutory basis for relief. But we're not there yet, so I will not proclaim as such. But he's got a bit of a burden he has to prove, because contact, even from someone who said, stop contacting me, is not inherently harassment. You see, that's one of WJJ Hoge III's many problems. He reads a portion of a law, picks the part he likes, and that becomes, in his withered mind, the sum total of the law. After Judge Stansfield ruling that Hoge cannot jump into his Wayback Machine with Mr. Peabody and go back in time to renew his peace order that expired on February 27th, paired with Judge Stansfield's ruling that there was no contempt of court, I believe that Carroll County is telling Mr. Hoge that they are quite finished entertaining his nonsense. Of course, we'll have to wait and see what happens with the above-mentioned hearing. Now, let's see if we can explain the entire concept of the Maryland law against harassment. It's criminal law, section 3803, section 3-803. Prohibited. A person may not follow another in or about a public place or maliciously engage in a course of conduct that alarms or seriously annoys the other, 1, with the intent to harass, alarm, or annoy the other, 2, after receiving a reasonable warning or request to stop or on behalf of the other, and 3, without a legal purpose. Now, You go, all right, we'll skip past that stuff. There's a word missing from the law that, if it were there, it would give Hoge grounds to file harassment charges against someone he is told to stop contacting him. That word is or. Without the word or, the statute says that to be found guilty of harassment, a person must be found to follow another in or about a public place or maliciously engage in a course of conduct that alarms or seriously annoys the other, with the intent to harass, alarm, or annoy the other, after receiving a reasonable warning or request to stop by or on behalf of the other, and without a legal purpose. All of those elements have got to be there. Not just one or two of them, all of them. You can tell me from now until hell starts selling snow cones not to contact you. That has no force of law. You must prove that my course of conduct was malicious and alarmed or seriously annoyed you, that I had intent to harass, alarm, or annoy you, that you gave me a reasonable warning or request to stop contacting you, and you have to prove that my purpose for contacting you was illegal. I have the legal right to send you a letter saying Merry Christmas in the middle of August if I want to. If I do it every day, that becomes a pattern, and one could reasonably infer an intent to harass. You have the right to block me from commenting on your blog. You have the right to ignore my tweets on Twitter. But contact, my friend, in and of itself, with a person who says don't ever contact me again, that does not meet the definition of the statute. Here are your takeaway points. 1. Maliciously engage in a pattern of conduct. 2. That conduct must truly alarm or seriously annoy you. 3. You must prove, that is, that I intended to truly alarm or seriously annoy you with this malicious pattern of conduct. 4. You must prove you gave me a reasonable warning to leave you alone. And 5, you must prove that the purpose of my contact was illegal. And even if you prove all that, exception, this section does not apply to a peaceable activity intended to express a political view or provide information to others. Now, I know this advice comes too late, but I suggest Hoge give it up. Stop trying to invent reasons to bother me. I don't wish to contact you. I can if I want to. And the contact would not be with the intent to harass, or would it be made for illegal reasons? Put on your big boy pants, Hoge. You're finished. Take off the tin star from Blog Smoke. Put away your Johnny @ hat. It's over. Your detective foo has failed you. You are exposed. You are done. All right, let's check and see if they've updated that yet. Oops. Click back to there. I have read and agree. Now I gotta type my last name in here. Okay. Hang on. Nope, they still haven't made a ruling. But there's still, the stupidity. It throbs. You heard me earlier read Judge Stansfield's order. Well, Hoge's readers don't seem to quite understand it. This particularly dim person living in Groton, Connecticut, calls herself Library Griffin online. While the order states, before ordered, that the court did not have the power to grant the peace order for a year, it also merely states that the peace order should have expired, not that it did expire. Of course, the whole problem would be moot if Maryland would actually enforce their peace orders. A few consequences and people would stop violating them. This woman is really the queen of the dull. Hey. All right, let's take a quick break and then we'll wrap things up here on the Liberal Grouch. By the way, check out my new website, theliberalgrouch.net. That's the Liberal Grouch, all one word, .net. And of course, the podcast you can hear the podcast on the liberalgrouch.net. The actual hosting company for this podcast is Podomatic, so you can get it on my website there at www.liberalgrouch.podomatic.com. And it really helps when you when you're listening to it, if you hit the like button, the thumbs up button, or when you download it or embed it, or just do something to show that you even care about this. So I have a reason to keep doing it. And also you can hear this on Spreaker and on SoundCloud. And if you have one of those tooth fillings that picks up certain frequencies, you can probably, hear it there too.
You are listening to the Liberal Grouch.
I tell you what, Nancy, I only trust that cabin boy as far as I could throw him.
Well, that wouldn't be very far. He is so very fat.
Giggle, giggle, giggle. You are absolutely correct.
I do not believe there is a fatter person in the whole wide world.
It's probably all those foot-long hot dogs he eats.
Oh, he loves those footlongs.
And don't forget the mayonnaise.
What's the deal with the mayonnaise?
Sure, remember, the mayonnaise is a visual representation of the bodily fluids excreted by the foot-long hot dogs, which aren't really hot dogs at all, but are metaphorical representations of the phallic objects that remind the cabin boy of his dead twin brother. This is why every time we insult the cabin boy, there must be some reference to footlong and mayonnaise.
In the cabin boy's case, I would be more likely to compare him to a Vienna sausage. Now that is world-class humor. You know he is faking his Parkinson's disease.
Of course he is.
I know someone with Parkinson's and looks nothing like the cabin boy.
How could he not be faking it?
He has to be.
Have you ever seen how quickly he types?
No.
Me neither. But there is no way a person with Parkinson's can type that fast. One of the other people in the comments section said that the cabin boy wrote 11 billion Twitter posts in one day.
Wow. No way a person with Parkinson's could do that many. Amazing.
Astounding is what I would call it.
That's a good word.
All I can say is, it is the good folks like you and me that keep the cabin boy from unleashing his unspeakable evil onto the world.
Can you imagine what would happen if he were to unleash his evil?
Notice how he always talks about poop?
It's all he ever talks about.
I used to wonder why so many people who write about the cabin boy say he likes poop.
I used to wonder about that, too.
Well, wonder no more. For he once wrote a column for the Daily Cuss in which there was a passing reference to anal sex.
Passing? Like in passing gas?
Yes, it was a 2,000-word article, but 175 words dealt with consensual anal sex between a man and a woman.
Sweet, heavenly mother of God. Is that all the man can think about?
I believe that to be the case. Sometimes you have to really read between the lines, but it's always there.
Even if you have to make it up.
Ha 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 ha.
Ha 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 ha.
Ever wonder what we'd do for fun if we didn't have to keep a constant eye on the cabin boy?
No, I cannot imagine that. Like guardians to the corridors of hell, it is our job to ensure the cabin boy never knows a moment's peace.
That is true. And when he dies, I plan to find out where he's buried, set up a lawn chair, and stare at the grave just to make sure he stays in there where he belongs.
His Parkinson's will kill him shortly.
Oh yes, he will be dead soon.
I can hardly wait.
He has Parkinson's dementia, you know.
How do we justify saying he is faking his Parkinson's and then claim he has Parkinson's dementia?
That's none of our concern. The official doctrine is, the cabin boy is faking his Parkinson's disease, and that's because of the Parkinson's disease dementia he has.
Hey, I'll believe it if I'm told to.
Yes, some questions are better left unasked.
Some words are best left unspoken.
You are correct.
You are correct.
No,
No,
you are.
you are.
No,
No,
you are.
you are.
No,
No,
you are.
You are.
Oh my. Jim, get in here for a minute.
Yeah, honey, what's the problem?
Look at this bathroom floor. It's covered in pee.
Maybe it was the dog.
We don't have a dog, Jim. It's just you and me, and you know it wasn't me, so that sort of narrows down the suspect roster, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're right. I just don't know what the problem is. I just can't seem to get a good stream of urine from me to the bowl.
The problem is you're not concentrating. You're not focused. Here, try this.
What's that?
That's the WJJ Hoge III urinal target.
I've heard of those, but aren't they just for urinals?
Don't be silly. You can put this right on the back of the toilet and use him to calibrate your urine stream.
That's right. Thanks to the scientists at the Liberal Grouch, we've developed this foolproof technique to help you calibrate your urine stream. With the WJJ Hoge III urinal target, you'll stop peeing all over the floor and make your wife a happy woman.
Gee, look at that, honey. Right between the eyes.
Good job, Jim. Now if we could just come up with some way to get you to remember to put the seat back down.
It works in toilets, too. Way up deep inside of me, I tried witch hazel paths, but there's blood each time I fart. Each day more butthurt ads, and it breaks my heart, butthurt. More than you'll ever know. There's no ointment for butthurt. Me so. All the damage to my anus means butthurt that burns through and through. It's such torture, this butthurt. Oh, ooh, somebody get me one of those donut balloon fillers. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You are listening to the Liberal Grouch.
Me oh my, Bill Schmalfeld here, and you can send me a tweet if you'd like, care of @GrouchyOldLib. That's @GrouchyOldLib. Thought I heard a knock at the door just then, but probably just one of the dogs. You see, they want to come in until I start recording the show. And then when I'm recording the show, it's like they want out right away. I don't know if that's a message to me or what. But they want it both ways. They want to be in here, but they don't want to hear me record the show. And I can't say as I blame them. We've been spending a lot of time today talking about my dear friend, Chucklehead John Joseph let's do that right. William John Joseph Hoge III of Westminster, Maryland. That we've paid scant attention to the other hemorrhoid on the other side of the anus, and that would be Patrick Grady. Now, I've determined that Patrick Grady is sending messages on his work time. That's easy to find out when you just check the source of a page on a blog. And it sounds to me like he's spending more time insulting me than he is preparing himself for a trial. The case got docketed today. It's in the U.S. District Court for the District of Maryland, civil docket for case number 1:15-CV-01241-RDB. That's for the name of the judge, Robert D. Bennett. William M. Schmalfeld Sr. versus Patrick G. Grady, also known as Paul Krendler. Well, it took a while. I imagine the unrest in Baltimore had something to do with it, but my federal case has finally been docketed. Also, having discovered that so many of Grady's defamatory posts were sent on office time, I was ruminating with friends yesterday about whether or not to add Grady's employer to the suit. Turns out, though, that the company has a rather extensive policy against that sort of behavior, so I've been advised that adding the company to the lawsuit would only be proper if they were contacted and told about their employees' behavior. Well, Grady has a temporary restraining order against me that forbids me from doing that. Now, I did not ask anyone to do it for me, but when I woke up today, I found myself copied on an email from a friend of mine explaining Grady's actions to the entire legal department of the company's United States headquarters. Now, I'm sure they won't make any rash decisions. I imagine they'll want to have someone take a look at Grady's equipment and we want to have a look at your equipment. Over there in Naperville, to see if any of his hate-filled diatribes and libel were written on their computers or on their time. But I also noticed that the people surrounding and supporting Paul Krendler are no longer claiming that I've got the wrong guy. The comments instead have turned to focusing on how stupid and fat I am, because that's how you win libel cases. And Krendler's writing has gotten more jagged and bizarre, which raises the question if Krendler is not Grady, and I can prove he is, why would Krendler and his followers be so freaked out by this lawsuit? The dominoes, they seemed a nice little row, but when the first one to fall down, down they all go. Oh, heavens to Betsy me, oh my. Anyway, I had a frame of thought there for just a moment. Let me pause until it comes back to me. Now, that didn't take long. What it was is that the argument being made against my lawsuit is that there's no libel there. That all Grady did was express an opinion or say something about something I was doing, and there's no libel. No libel. So that means I have syphilis. My wife is a truck stop prostitute and an alcoholic. I'm a domestic abuser. And a myriad of other things that are not true. But that's not libel. Not if it's done to me. And I'm Bill Schmofeld, the Liberal Grouch. I wonder what tonight's episode of, I think it's Johnny @ or Blog Smoke, one or the other. It's one of those. It'll be on Hoge's website tonight at 6 o'clock.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men?
The poop flake knows. The poop flake, the unseen but always smelled master of men's minds. By day, a humble quantum mechanic known as Bill Hoge. Only his girlfriend and assistant, Ariana Worthing Walker, knows his secret identity as the Poop Flake.
All right, Pavo Campus, hand me that drill.
Okay, Timberland. What you gonna do with it?
What do you think I'm gonna do with it, Pavo Campus? Dentistry?
You never told me you was a dentist before, Mr. Timberland. Ow.
That was for not keeping your yap shut.
I'll keep my yap shut from now on, Mr. Timberland.
What I'm gonna do, see, is drill through this safe. And then I'm gonna stick in this here stick of dynamite. And then you and I are gonna wait out in the hallway while I light the fuse. And then...
boom, right?
Yeah, boom.
I don't think so, boys.
Did you hear that?
I heard it, but I don't see nobody.
That's because I'm clouding your mind.
I smell something, though. It's kind
yeah,
of like...
It smells like a mixture of poop and hair.
This is 1946, knucklehead. You can't say poop on the radio.
Unless, of course, you're saying it as if, boy, am I pooped.
There's that voice again.
And that really, really stinky smell, too.
All right, mister. Who are you?
They call me the Poop Flake.
Why do they call you that?
Well, you'd have to see me in person in order to understand that, but that's what they call me. It has something to do with this unfortunate quality of my beard and the inefficacy of shampoo as far as getting the beard completely clean from, Well, I can certainly smell why.
Yeah.
I order you to, in the name of the law, to stop breaking into that safe.
But you're invisible.
Yeah, if you're invisible, how you gonna stop us? Well, I suppose I could call the police? Yeah. Why don't you do that? There's a phone right over there at the desk. Oh, damn it. This is 1946.
Yeah, you can't say damn it on the radio,
I can't quite seem to make my ephemeral hand grasp the telephone receiver. Oh, ain't that too bad? Did you hear what he said, Pavo Campus?
Yeah, he can't make his feminine hand grab the telephone receiver.
Well, I'm gonna light this fuse now, Mr. Poop Flake. Pavo Campus, let's you and me step out through the door and see if this guy can come through the door after we close it.
It's awful smoky in here now, Mr. Timberland.
Yeah, but look at all that money in this safe, and it's ours for the grabbing.
Meanwhile, back at his office.
So, how did the caper go, Billy?
You know, Adriana, the power to cloud men's minds is pretty useless after all. I think I need to come up with some other power.
Yeah, I'll say.
What?
The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay.
The Poop Flake knows.
You are listening to the Liberal Grouch.
Well, for such an action-packed day, this is a remarkably short version of the podcast. I'm Bill Schmalfeld, and a lot has happened today, which is sort of cut back on my preparation time for the show. So we're all lucky we got what we got, okay? First of all, Judge Stanfield in the Carroll County Circuit Court, the individual who Hoge first lied to, saying that saying that blocking me on Twitter would be the same thing as cutting off a significant portion of his internet functionality, and would be the same as having to change his phone number to avoid telemarketers, and he bought that. That same judge who denied Hoge's contempt of court hearing, I believe that was at the end of January, has just now denied, actually did this a week ago, but I just got it, a copy of it today, has denied Hoge's motion to modify and extend the peace order, which means that if there ever was a peace order, it expired on February 27th. Now, the Hoge faction is saying, the judge just said that it should have expired the 27th, not that it did. And besides, in the district court, Judge Ellinghouse Jones ordered him to not contact Mr. Hoge. Well, that's not quite true. After she made her ruling of not guilty, this was what in the legal term they refer to as dicta. It means she's talking from the bench. She told Hoge to leave me alone, and she told me to leave Hoge alone. Forget each other exist. That had no effect of law. It was not an order. It was a mom scolding two naughty boys. That's all the effect that has. And now we see that Hoge is back at the well once again. 368. Right, 368 times so far. He's had charges filed against me. This would be the 369th if the district court decides to entertain his peace order notions. And let's check one last time before we leave the air, because it'll say on here whether or not it's been granted and whether the hearing is set for the interim peace order, and no word yet. So keep an eye on the blog, theliberalgrouch.net. That's theliberalgrouch.net. And once I get a definite yes or no on this thing, I'll tweet it as well. That'll be at Old Grouchy Lib. Once again, that's at Old Grouchy Lib. I'm still waiting to hear if there's any feedback from that note that was sent to the company that Patrick Grady works for, because they've got a very strict code of ethics about that sort of thing. And if they choose to ignore that, well, I may have to consider adding them to the federal lawsuit. So there's just so much going on. And this judge here in Howard County, in my civil suit against Hoge, has been sitting on Hoge's motion to dismiss for over a month now. I don't know what he's waiting for. It's a pretty open and shut matter. If he approves Hoge's motion to dismiss, well, then that's done. If he denies it, then Hoge has a certain amount of time to file a response to my complaint. Speaking of responses to my complaints, I'm really looking forward to see what Grady comes up with. How do you justify saying that a man has syphilis and that his wife is a truck stop whore alcoholic? I just don't see it happening. We'll know more by Monday. That's when we'll get together next here. I'm the Liberal Grouch. Have a great weekend. But first, this minor addendum. After closing the program and preparing it for publication, I've learned that the very same judge who found me not guilty for violating the peace order has given Hoge his temporary peace order. I think there may be something going on here that might be a little Machiavellian, because this is a huge mistake tactically for Hoge. Because I will be able to raise issues in this hearing that I was not able to raise at the previous hearing. And I'll have that son of a bitch under oath. So stay tuned for more.
You have been listening to the Liberal Grouch podcast. The Liberal Grouch is hosted by Bill Schmalfelt through the services of Podomatic and can be heard at liberalgrouch.podomatic.com. You can reach the Grouch on Twitter at GrouchyOldLib. That's one word at grouchy old lib. He also maintains a presence on Spreaker at www.spreaker.com/bloodymike. So, until next time, stay safe, and remember,
It is later than you think. And that's the truth.
The Liberal Grouch is a copyright feature of Bill Schmalfeld, copyright 2015, all rights reserved.